How did a product that was ridiculed become such a hit? When Apple introduced the AirPods, they looked like someone took the earpods and snipped off the ends. Their look was mocked relentlessly, with comparisons to electric toothbrush heads and hair dryers. Yet, amidst the memes, something curious happened. People began to buy them, and before long, they found their place in the ears and hearts of millions of people. Apple doesn't report unit sales or revenue for the AirPods themselves. However, its wearables category, which includes the AirPods, generated nearly $40 billion in revenue in 2023, more than the revenue of Nvidia, Spotify, Shopify, or X.
AirPods are becoming ubiquitous out there. People love them. I get notes every day. They're chock full of technology, but they just work.
Actually, the success of the wireless buds surprised Apple CEO Tim Cook. Apple didn't really have high expectations for the AirPods. It wasn't even Cook who introduced them at Apple's September 2016 event.
Let's talk about audio.
But the then Senior VP of Marketing, Phil Schiller.
We are so excited to show you a new product from Apple called Apple AirPods. And here they are.
And he only spent 5 minutes on them. So how did the AirPods go from a 5-minute mention to a phenomenon? By focusing on utility. Apple's then chief designer, Jony Ive, believed people got the wrong impression of the AirPods. He told GQ that the initial reaction to them was based on an academic understanding, rather than a practical, daily understanding of them. What we tend to focus on are those attributes that are easy to talk about. And just because we talk about them doesn't mean that they're the important attributes. In other words, the early critiques focused more on their novel appearance, a nod to the shiny Star Wars stormtroopers, rather than their performance. Apple banked on their performance, leveraging its custom W1 chip to ensure a seamless connection at a time when Bluetooth was notoriously finicky. The AirPods connected to the iPhone the moment you open the case.
The AirPods deliver truly an Apple magical experience.
Engineers worked with the design team to create a device that was small enough to fit in people's ears, yet still had sufficient battery power. The head designer of the AirPods, Rico Zorkendorfer, pushed to create smaller batteries. In 2013, Apple quietly acquired a small Silicon Valley startup, Passive Semiconductor, founded by 2 hardware engineers passionate about music who dreamed of creating wireless headphones. They designed a chip that used less power and allowed each headphone to independently receive its own audio signal while coordinating the two as if they were physically connected. This avoids the traditional Bluetooth design where one earbud receives the signal and relays it to the other, which can cause lag and be less reliable. Just as Apple redefined audio transmission, Apple also redefined what a charging case can be. The company didn't just design a case, they crafted an experience. Apple agonized over this little white charging case more than people know. Zorkendorfer sketched a slim case the size of a lighter, knowing it had to be small enough to fit into people's pockets. He worked with engineers to create a magnetic system to guide the AirPods into the correct position. They obsessed over how to make the click of the magnetic case lid sound and feel satisfying, contributing to the overall enjoyment of the product, akin to the absent-minded comfort of clicking a pen. Apple has a history of humanizing products.
This is iMac.
When Steve Jobs introduced the iMac, he highlighted a feature that at first seemed minor.
Around the back, we've got a really great handle here.
Including a handle was a strategic decision to make the iMac more approachable at a time when computers were considered scary. Making devices more accessible influenced the design of the AirPods case. As Ive remarked to GQ, these details contribute far more than people are necessarily aware for your sense of joy. Enhancing joy extended to how Apple marketed the AirPods. Its advertising focused on how the wireless earbuds enhanced a user's lifestyle. The imagery of someone dancing freely on the side of a building symbolized freedom from wires, just as the Apple Watch had freed people from their iPhones the year before. Despite Apple's uplifting portrayal, Conan O'Brien's show immediately poked fun at the AirPods falling out of ears, forcing people to dish out $159 for another pair. Still, the AirPods began to do better than the critics anticipated. Apple's strong brand loyalty likely played a significant role in their initial adoption. People trust Apple's product quality and innovation, and are willing to try new products even if they look a little weird. If another company had introduced this same product, would you have been as eager to try them? Additionally, the surprising success of the iPhone 7 gave the AirPods a boost.
This is iPhone 7.
The AirPods were seen as an accessory to the iPhone 7, which famously killed the headphone jack, a controversial move that Schiller described this way.
Well, the reason to move on, I'm going to give you 3 of them, but it really comes down to one word: courage.
His words were mocked as being overly grandiose. The iPhone 7 wasn't expected to do well because it looked so similar to its predecessors. The comedy site College Humor featured a voiceover of a Jony Ive impersonator mocking the model.
With the iPhone 7, we've done something that at first seems counterintuitive, and then is. We've made it worse.
And yet, the iPhone 7 flew off the shelves, becoming the world's best-selling smartphone. Part of the reason had to do with Apple getting a lucky break. At the time, Apple's rival Samsung recalled 2.5 million Galaxy Note 7s due to faulty batteries. Then the replacement batteries from a different supplier began overheating, forcing Samsung to issue a second recall. The phone was banned on buses and planes, with the U.S. Department of Transportation considering them a forbidden hazardous material. This disaster cost Samsung at least $5 billion and irreparable damage to its reputation. Amidst this backdrop, the iPhone 7 exploded in popularity, and so did the AirPods. Greg Joswiak, Apple's vice president of product marketing, described how fast the AirPods caught on. It was almost like wildfire how quickly it spread, telling Wired, "It's done even better than we could ever imagine." The AirPods emerged as the world's most popular wireless headphones, capturing an estimated 1/3 of the entire wireless headphones market at its peak. Their popularity had competitors scrambling to mimic the design. Can you tell that these are knockoffs? The AirPods spawned a range of wireless designs and made Apple up their game, expanding into high-end options like the AirPods Max. In 2023, Apple's wearables category accounted for more sales than the Mac or iPad, highlighting the growing consumer interest in wearable technology. It appears that even when a new innovation like the AirPods faced initial ridicule, its quality and utility won consumers over. When a product is truly good, people inevitably come around. AirPods cut through the noise, offering utility at every step. Speaking of cutting through, what about cutting through the risks that threaten your personal data? As you enter your personal information online, like your address, email, credit card information, and other confidential information, data brokers are there to gather it up and sell it. Huge loans have been taken out under people's names without them even knowing about it. Health insurance companies could raise your rates based on your online activity. Scammers can use AI to mimic the voices of your family and friends to trick you into sending them money. Well, Incogni is there to protect you. With just a couple of clicks, Incogni sends out removal requests to hundreds of data brokers on your behalf, drastically reducing your chances of falling victim to identity theft or scams. This is a big issue. Last year, Americans fell victim to over $10 billion in fraud. Topping the list of scams, according to the FTC, were imposter scams. If you'd like the peace of mind of having your information scrubbed from websites, you can sign up for Incogni with my custom link, incogni.com/newsthink. You'll receive an exclusive 60% off an annual Incogni plan. The link is in my description. Thanks for watching. For Newsthink, I'm Cindy Pom.